Hello, my name is Shweta Gupta and I'm a research analyst in International Food Policy Research Institute. My study is titled Designing Better Input Support Programs Lessons from Micronutrient Subsidies in Andhra Pradesh, India. This was originally submitted to ANH as Best Intentions, Failed Execution, Zinc Subsidy in Andhra Pradesh. A national level soil testing program called the Soil Health Card Scheme in 2015 revealed significant micronutrient deficiencies in AP. The state government thus started supplying key micronutrients like zinc, boron and gypsum at 50% subsidy rate. More recently, these micronutrients were being supplied free of cost to the farmers in 2017-18. However, despite a free provision, nearly 40% of the cultivable land was found zinc deficient in AP in 2017-18 based on the latest soil health card data. Against this backdrop, the current study answers if micronutrient subsidies have any impact on their awareness and use. What factors ultimately determine their uptake among the farmers? What role can private sector play in contributing to product development and marketing for agricultural goods as compared to the public sector? Does any alternative resource allocation exist that can enhance the program outreach and maximize total welfare? Using the mixed method approach, we conducted surveys of 1,621 paddy farmers, 78 fertilizer dealers, both public and private, and 61 government extension workers across 6 districts in the state. We focus primarily on zinc because it accounts for 70% of the total subsidy outlay under the scheme and is a critical nutrient for paddy, which is the largest crop of the state. Let's move towards the major findings from the study now. While one would believe that a greater zinc distribution should be made to regions which have relatively higher zinc deficiency, we don't find such thing happening in the current scheme. On the left you see district-wise soil zinc status in AP in parts per million. On right you see district-wise supply of zinc in kg per hectare. So for instance, we see that districts like Chittoor, Kadapa and Vizianagaram that have a lower zinc status in 2017-18 have actually received lower supply of zinc in the same year as compared to other districts like West Godavari and Srikakulam, which have a higher zinc level. More so, rising prices of zinc worldwide may render free provision fiscally unsustainable. It creates the possibility of product rationing, which can lead to allocative inefficiency in zinc distribution. Due to such budget constraints, the current scheme meets only 1/4 of the total zinc demand. Primary surveys of farmers revealed that 45% of the sample have used zinc in the last 1 year before survey. Out of them, 56% had purchased zinc from the market. Most common reasons that they cited for non-usage of zinc included lack of interest or need in zinc, lack of knowledge about zinc altogether, or about its benefits. Our econometric analysis revealed that having information or awareness about benefits of zinc can enhance its uptake significantly. This therefore calls for strengthening the agriculture extension and awareness program about micronutrients in the state. However, extension officers, who potentially are a major source of such information, are unable to carry out the necessary extension work. It is because the present scheme overburdens them with twin responsibilities of not only conducting awareness on zinc, but also managing the entire procurement and distribution of micronutrients. In addition, there are several logistical issues in the scheme like beneficiaries' biometric authentication error, poor connectivity, and malfunctioning devices that slow down and complicate the entire process. No doubt 37% of extension staff reported to do overtime and 26% thought they were overburdened. This hampers the process of much needed awareness creation that we talked about previously. While the private sector is currently kept out of the scheme, its significance cannot be neglected given that 56% of zinc users purchase zinc from the market. Private dealers also serve as a major source of information on agriculture practices for 37% of the sampled farmers. The current scheme, however, crowds out private investment due to free zinc provision. Greater returns can be realized if the extensive network of private sector is pooled with government extension services in order to enhance awareness on micronutrients. Total welfare can be thus maximized by making two broad changes in the current scheme. Firstly, the government must shift away from price subsidy towards a direct cash transfer scheme with benefits deposited into farmers' accounts directly. This would require farmers to purchase zinc from the markets at a positive price. The fact that 56% of zinc users had bought it from the market despite existence of free zinc indicates their willingness to pay a positive price for it. Subsidies do help in creating markets for new inputs, but this goal has already been met. In fact, literature shows that charging a positive price for an input helps to enhance its efficient use. This would entail greater choice among farmers in terms of zinc brand and formulation instead of what they face currently. A second major change should be to involve the private sector in distribution process. Doing so would take the administrative load off from extension workers, who would then be able to focus on extension activities. The profit motives of private market would lead to better product quality, advertising, and eventually better prices. Such pooling of resources from both public and private sector can generate more awareness than what the public sector can achieve single-handedly. Overall, it would bring down the financial and administrative costs of the government. The key takeaway, therefore, from the study is that benefit programs come at a huge cost to the state. They should therefore be well tested before being scaled up. They put an enormous amount of human and monetary resources at stake, which can impact the objectives of the program upon misallocation. The proposed reallocation of resources can help in covering a zinc deficient area, which is twice of what the zinc supply in 2018-19 could cover. That comes at no additional cost to the government. There are substantial complementarities between the subsidies and information. Therefore, the state government should complement the cash transfer scheme with comprehensive training and awareness campaign on benefits of zinc application. Thank you.